And it's like all of it, I'm saying, when people ban his restaurant. Yes. I'm gonna start, oh, no, my watch is
Give me a second, we're not live yet.
September is
What?
September, it's 5:30.
I understand.
Oh, no.
Make sure you have everything set. We are live now.
Good evening. The meeting will come to order. The time is now 5:30 p.m. on Monday, May 19th, 2025. This is a regular monthly meeting of the District of Columbia Commission on the Arts and Humanities. My name is Reggie Van Lee, Chairman of the Commission on the Arts and Humanities. I am all black today with a shiny tie. I will not call the roll. When you hear your name, please answer present. Carla. Cecily.
Present.
Cora. Demetrius.
Present.
Gretchen. Hector.
Present.
Janice.
Present.
Julianne. Oh, great,
Present.
Julianne. Kim. Maggie.
Present.
And quorum is present. This is a meeting of a public body held in open session as governed by the Open Meetings Act. Please address any questions or complaints arising under this meeting to the Office of Open Government, OpenGov office at dc.gov. Notice the meeting was posted in the DC Register, on the Commission's website, dcarts.dc.gov, and on the DC Office of Open Government Central Meetings calendar at open-dc.gov. The meeting is being conducted in a virtual, hybrid manner with commissioners joining remotely as well as in the room. The meeting is being live streamed at the Commission's YouTube channel. An electronic recording of the meeting will be available via online following the conclusion of the meeting. Tonight we have a very special meeting because we'll be swearing in newly minted Commissioner David Stead. Commissioner Steadman attended the George Washington University, where he earned his Master in Public Administration and Nonprofit Management Certificate. A lifelong supporter of the arts, he recently led fundraising for the National Theater Foundation. He currently sits on the Tenor and Development Committee of the Washington Course, and we welcome his experience and leadership to the Commission. And I think we're going to have a full swearing in when the Motor Director, Steve Walker, is here. In the meantime, well, thank you. Should we just move on and we'll pick that up when he comes? Is there any objection to the agenda and minutes that were previously circulated? Hearing no objection, the agenda for this meeting and minutes from the previous meeting stand as adopted. Are there any voting items? Hearing none, we shall proceed to the land acknowledgement. I will now read the land acknowledgement. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contribute their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will, some were drawn to live some homes in hope, life, and some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all areas of heritage and difference. We begin this effort to acknowledge what has been buried by honoring the truth. We stand on the ancestral land and God's change and Scottish people. We pay respects to the elders past and present. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events, and to use such truths to guide the legacy of this Arts Commission. Good evening and welcome to everybody. We have an interesting meeting this evening with reports from the Director, Grants Committee, Grants, IDEA, and Public Arts Committees. The Arts Education Committee will not be presenting this evening. Is that correct?
Oh, then just make an announcement.
Oh, okay. So the Arts Education Committee will make an announcement. For our new commissioner, it's our process to make sure we remember why we're here. So we actually have artists and our grantees to present at each meeting. Tonight we'll be hearing from Diane Coburn Brennan, representing the Chamber Dance Project. Is Brennan here?
Hi, I'm here.
Great. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. And I understand there's a birthday. I would have made a dance if I knew that. Well, thank you for having me. So Chamber Dance Project dancers and musicians began in New York as a summer project for dancers who are unemployed. Typically, ballet dancers work only 34 weeks a year, and I thought that was a tremendous waste of talent. And I also thought more and more companies had moved to doing canned music. So we started it there very successfully, and then the Great Recession hit, and certain opportunities brought me to DC. And after choreographing for the opera and studio theater and Shakespeare, I said, aha, there is a wonderful Washington Ballet, but what about the rest of the year? So us working in the summer and in that little period after Nutcracker provided that opportunity. And so as a part of this, we bring in very high-level dancers from other ballet companies. We hire several from the Washington Ballet, and then we work with local musicians. What I'm most pleased about is in the last 3 or 4 years, I feel like we've really woven into the texture of the city, in no small part to the commission's grants to us, but also is serving for as a resource. I am in fairly typically every month or so communication with David Markey on ideas in Marcia. So I found that the commission isn't just a financial support, but also one as a networking and idea support, for which I'm grateful. If I'm able to share a few things, some visuals, I wanted to tell you how I think we've woven into the city. Send request, sharing's not on. I play nice in the sandbox. Can I? So if that is turned on, I have some fun visuals. There we go. Okay. So as a part of it, I mentioned that we work with local musicians, and most recently, or last year, it included slam poets. This is Drew Anderson, an acclaimed slam poet in DC, and Gail Danley was also part of a work I commissioned with 4 different choreographers and entirely slam poetry. And the best comments I got was, I had no idea what slam poetry was when I went into the show, but now I want to see more. So to me, that was a success because those neophytes wanted more. And it was so popular that we repeated it in our January performance at Arena, and we sold out. So that was very encouraging. So we're not your grandma's ballet company. We do weird stuff. We also have had a band called, I don't know if you used to see, there was a band, brass band fixated at the Chinatown Metro Center, right across from Harmon and next to Capital One where we work. And a few years after I got here, as I was just reestablishing Chamber Dance Project, I came up from Chinatown Metro, and I heard this fantastic brass band with Moshe here in the center. And I took out my card and I put a note in here and I said, I'm going to call you about a project. So by the time I got the board around to the idea that we're taking a street band and putting them in the theater, Moshe says, I said, do you remember that I left that? She said, yeah, why did it take you a year to call me? But we did several works with Moshe Brass, previously known as Brass Connection. They used to play for the Wizards. And so other things we've done with the community is our open on-stage workshop. So what we tried to do in terms of giving back is to provide free performance tickets. And for years, we've had a relationship with N Street Village, and those women like to get up on the stage and dance. So they come to the matinee, and afterwards we have a half an hour on stage where they work with our dancers and dance. Other people who have been in that program and are coming back again this year is the Fauntleroy Community Center. We perform at Harmon Hall, Klein Theater, Arena Stage, and most recently DuPont Underground. I am a tremendous fan of Anna Harvey and what she's doing. She is taking an alternate space that people under 40, maybe under 50, consider really cool, so they will dare to go to ballet there. So we're doing two things with them this year. One is an immersive, what goes on to get the ballet on stage, kind of station to station. But I think that if I can toot her horn, we have a tremendous gem, and she's so welcoming. I hope she doesn't get in trouble for this, but she offered to let us have our fall fundraiser there at zero rent. To me, that is a community player, and I want to be like that. And that is another way I think we've woven into the fabric of the city. Other groups that we've worked with are the National Cathedral. We did a work called Chant with their singers. This year, Lena Seikely, the acclaimed jazz singer based in DC, is bringing her jazz trio, and we're doing a ballet based on songs of Cole Porter. We're also bringing in the work of an acclaimed African-American choreographer, Ulysses Dove, who was with Ailey for years, passed way too young, but his work, Red Angels, we're bringing back, and that involves a electric violin. So this will be on stage in June 25th, 26th, 27th. And we're pleased to bring the premiere of Ulysses' work, the DC premiere here. They asked me to say something that I thought might be an ask of the Arts Commission. But last time I came, I talked about the tremendous increase in the theater costs and labor costs in the case of Harmon going unionized, and how we tried but were unable to raise the ticket prices. So I feel like I got my ask. But one thing I think we could do if the commission were better is help us weave together the various grantees by genre, but maybe not, in form of, we would love to give discounts to all the artists who you support in your grants. How do we get at them? Would there be a vehicle for sharing promotion of our work and discounts to other artists that might enable them to come see us and vice versa? So I guess that's more of a wish than an ask, but if there's a way to do it, I would be glad to be part of it. And most gratefully, I thank you for your tremendous support of Chamber Dance Project.
You continue to do the hard work, we do the easy work, so we like this partnership. But your idea, I think, is fantastic. We'll investigate how we can make it happen. And you volunteered to be on the committee, thank you.
Yes, and we have tickets for all of the commission. Just let me know. They have my number and my email. June 25th is opening night. It's Everybody Wears White in honor of the summer solstice. The 25th, and then the 26th and 27th are other performances, and the 28th will be back submerged in DuPont Underground, happily.
You bringing art to broad audiences. That's what we should be about in the city. So this sense of community is so important. So thank you for embracing it.
Thank you so much for having me.
We talked about it earlier in the program, and I'll come back to it. But we now have, or in a few minutes, we'll have a full complement of commissioners, 12 commissioners, with the induction of the term.
By outlets in this room, we are going.
19. Page 7, we have Board of Director Steve Walker here to install our newest commissioner. Director Walker, would you like to come up with us?
And actually we have some others who've been reappointed for a new term.
And I'll let you come here and speak.
Everyone, so. New term. David, congratulations, good to see you, this is yours. There's two copies of the oath, Maggie and Julianne.
Julian is on.
Is on.
I'm right here. I'll get that from someone in the office. Thank you. Hey, Steve.
Julian, and we'll send it to you electronically, and you've been here before.
Thank you,
So it'll
Steve.
just be a repeat. And so for the new members and the continued members, there's two copies of the oath. So if you just sign both copies, I'll take one copy back with me today. And you keep the second copy with yourself. As well as an appointment certificate from your names. Have that. So when everyone's ready, let me know and we will swear you all in. I think I might go up here. There are nice to hear. I'll see it. All right, is everyone ready? So we'll need David, Cecily, Julianne, yourself, and Maggie. If you all please raise your right hands and repeat after me, and I'm gonna say your name, and I'll need you all to say your names.
Turn on your mics, please.
Everyone ready? Raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your name.
Julianne Brienza,
Having been appointed as a member of
I've been appointed as a member of
the Commission on the Arts and Humanities.
Commission on the Arts and Humanities,
Do solemnly swear and affirm that.
Do
solemnly swear and affirm that
I state your name.
that I,
Julianne
Also-
Brienza
Will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
will
support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the laws of the District of Columbia.
and the laws of the District of Columbia.
And I will perform the duties
and I will
I will
perform
perform the duties
that may be assigned to me
that may be assigned
as they may be assigned to me
as a member of the Commission on Arts and Humanities
as a member of the Commission on Arts and Humanities
to the best of my ability,
to the
to
best
the
of my
best of my ability,
without fear or favor.
without
without fear or favor.
I will exercise my best judgment
I will exercise my best judgment
and consider each matter before me
and consider each matter before me
from the viewpoint of the best interest
from the
from the
viewpoint
viewpoint of the best interest
of the District of Columbia
of the
of the
District
District of Columbia
as a whole,
as a
as a
whole,
whole,
and I will faithfully discharge these duties.
and I will faithfully discharge these duties.
Congratulations on your second term for many of you and your first term, David. Really excited to have each of you working on behalf of the residents in District of Columbia for the fantastic arts and humanities programs that you have done. So it's always fun to come back and see everybody, and I look forward to working with you all for the many months and years to come. Everyone's got to sign up, say one time.
I gotta go. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
You're official now.
Official. Everyone's going back.
Everyone's official.
Yes, thank you.
These two people welcome.
Finish this business and go back to the agenda.
Julianne will email your copy to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Great.
So moving on to our public comment portion. We have Charles Jean-Pierre, we have the Stable Arts, signed up for our public comment this evening. The commission welcomes your comments, they're very important to us. Please note the comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please address your remarks to the chair. Note that you will not be engaging into dialogue at this time. The purpose of the agenda for this agenda item is to view the public to inform us, the commission, about their views. If members of the public have actual questions, staff will be glad to follow up via email. And I call on, so, Mr. Charles Jean-Pierre, on behalf of Stable Arts, you may begin.
He was here and he had to leave, but he submitted written comments.
So we'll take his written comments into court. So now we move on to the executive director report. Aaron?
This is Aaron Myers, Executive Director for the DC Commission on Arts and Humanities, African American male with a black shirt on. Staff update, CAH would like to welcome our new commissioners. CAH will be connecting with new commissioners and committee chairs to set a date for the new commissioner training. For all commissioners who would like assistance setting up their email or experiencing issues with their email, please contact CAH Octo Technician Bruce Smith. You can reach him at bruce.smith@dc.gov. The staff will be observing 2 budget dates in May. It's May 29th, and in June, that's going to be to be determined. These days will focus on the spend plans for the remainder of FY25 and FY26, while also building the FY27 budget. Our executive committee meeting. Executive committee met on May 13th to discuss the OIG report, Economic Development Committee, RWC, and NEA funding, and then went to executive session. CAH is presently scheduling meetings with commissioners and council members to discuss the OIG report and other key priorities. The governance committee will review the process of creating special committees and ensure work with leadership to ensure proper staffing for committees. CAH sent the DC strategic and implementation plans to commissioners for review and feedback. While we await the NEA's full list of DC grantees impacted by their recent actions, CAH has conducted outreach to our current grantees, and we've received feedback as to how these actions have impacted their organizations and programming. As more updates come in, we will update the commission and the public of our findings. The city budget impact. CAH remains under the mayor's order issued last month. We submitted a spend plan for the remainder of FY25, and we are grateful to the Office of the City Administration for their support and guidance during this exercise. We have a tentative financial oversight hearing date of June 4th, and once finalized, will be in preparation for the hearing. Grants. The grand total from GOS, as far as applications, as far as project events, festivals, individuals, and organizations, was 535 applications. I think that's a down. I would like to reiterate to our applicants and current grantees that we have general grant resources links on our websites that range from application assistance to in-person office hours. I would just like to reiterate to all of the grantees and potential applicants, we are here. Just come to the agency, reach out to anyone on our team. We're here to support you. Behind the Uniform, Queer Art Salon, and World Pride. I would like to thank the staff, curators, the DC Office of Veteran Affairs for supporting the opening of Behind the Uniform that opened April 10th and will run through May 23rd. The closing reception will take place Wednesday, May 21st, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with accessibility hours taking place from 5 to 6 p.m. CAH has partnered with the Department of Health in support of World Pride to host Art Bank as Community Healing. It's a panel at the DC Wellness Center. This will take place on Thursday, May 29th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. The DC Wellness Center is located, for those who have not been, at 77 P Street Northeast. Our next exhibition in the I Street Gallery will be the Queer Art Salon that will open Friday, June 13th, from 5 to 7 p.m. Lastly, our strategic plan. This has been the hardest strategic plan we get anywhere up moving in the I've seen. And so CAH has provided the waivers to the Office of Contracts and Procurement, OCP, to continue their work posting the strategic plan. We're now waiting for the confirmation of the posting and that proposals are being accepted. So let's keep our fingers crossed that at the end of that journey, we can really start getting some proposals in. If you have any questions, I am available.
Any questions from the commissioners?
Yes, Director Myers, the 535 applicants this year, how does that relate? It's a good number based on your comparable applause, but how does that relate to last year or previous years?
I believe that is going to be included in our grant summary. Yeah. I don't want to take that from them.
Okay.
Good, so we'll move on to Finance Committee report. Janice?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Janice Kim, head of finance committee, and I'm an Asian woman with short dark hair wearing black dress today. We don't have much changes from our last month's report due to circumstances beyond our control. And now I want to pass it over to Mr. Brandon Saunders, who will go over all the numbers with us this evening. Brandon?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brandon Saunders, Resource Allocation Officer here at CAH, and I'm wearing a gray, white and gray polo shirt. And thank you, Janice. And the reason why, just to give a little bit more context, why there hasn't been a lot of movement in the overall numbers, has been due to the mayoral order that happened in about early April that pretty much put a pause or freeze and remained everything in status quo for about 3 weeks to a month as we awaited approval. And while we did receive positive results, now we're just on the upswing of starting to get all of our requisitions and purchase orders back into motion overall. Even there has been movement. However, I would like to say and acknowledge the work of those who've made that happen. The work of payment distribution has still occurred across our administrative and our grants sections, of course, and now that's what you're kind of looking at on this first page overall. The bottom number at the bottom right, the available percentage reads about 17.86%, which is would have probably been a little bit even smaller of a number, which means that we would have expended more funds had the mayoral freeze happened, but we still are about course on pace in terms of where we would to fully expend the budget for the year, which is exactly what we want to do. We can move down to the next page. And so this, excuse me, this page here represents a little bit more granular breakdown of our administrative budget. List the major categories. You listed at the very top are our personnel services, which has remained one of the few things that has kind of continued to flow and move. Everyone's gotten paid, of course, while the bottom sections remained a little bit more stagnant compared to probably the previous month at this time. And we can move to the next slide or page down. And then this is for those who are a little bit more, I would say, curious, intellectually curious overall, and it's just even more of a granular breakdown from what you'll see in the previous slides. So where the previous slides showed our major categories such as supplies, telecommunications, equipment, contracts, etc. This provides even a little bit more, like I said, granular breakdown of the categories. So you can see pretty detailed. Also, just as an FYI, if you were to go back and see previous versions of the mayor's office budget, this is about what the level is for every agency that's required to submit overall. So just kind of wanted to share that level of detail. We can move down. And then finally, last but not least, of course, is our grant section. And we can kind of see that we are at about 14% available remaining budget. And one thing that we're pretty happy and grateful for, honestly, is that this new system that we've kind of tested out in terms of distributing, not only just creating the requisitions for each of the grants, but also distributing payments. When we had to submit a list of items, it included all of everything that we essentially had to, as Director Myers pointed out earlier, our remaining spend plan for the rest of the year. That included things that we hadn't had yet, hadn't initiated yet or obligated into a purchase order. And so because of the agency's speed in which they expended the funds and got everything created, and also shout out to our grantees for, submitting all the requisite information and documents and on time to help us with that as well. So we're pretty happy that and, personally, as, the resource allocation officer that was consolidating that, I wanted to kind of shout out everyone's involvement in the process, and we continue to build on that. Um, with that said, I think that's all I have to share, and happy to answer any questions.
Well, thank you for increasing the font at least a little bit. So, I think people online can probably see it, and those of us here have it in our books. So this is what the report is completed. You know what? Anyway, so questions from the commissioners? Notes, David, you have a question? No questions, good. Thank you both to Janice and to Grant. Why don't we go on to grants? Gretchen couldn't be here today, but Tara, I think we prepared to talk about grants. Yes.
Yes, hello, my name is Terrell Johnson. I am a African-American male, dark hair that is slowly graying in a gray shirt. I'll give it our grants report. So the FY 26 grant cycle, FY 26 spring grants are now closed. These include our general operating support grant, GOS, our East Arts grant program, EA, and projects, events, and festivals. Total applications received. So we have GOS generalist at 88 applications, GOS service at 11 applications, GOS capacity building at 25 applications, GOS 2-year grant at 123. This is huge because this is the first year.
That is huge.
Yeah, so,
Thank you.
FI at 187 applications, FO at 58 applications, and East Arts at 43. For a total of 535 applications. We are still on track with where we were last year at this time, which is 518. These are just for our spring grants. Our summer grants is where the bulk of our grants are made. Our spring applications are now being.
I'm sorry, can I make a point here just to reiterate what you said about the 2-year grant? So for a period of time, grantees have asked, can they have 2-year grants, not just 1-year grants? And so for 20% of our grants to be applicants for 2 years in the first year is amazing. So congratulations to the grants team, the communication team, everybody who made that happen and made our grantees aware of it, and to the grantees for applying for them as well. So just wanted to punctuate that, sorry.
Awesome. Our spring applications are now being reviewed by Canvas, and the final process for spring applicants will continue until Thursday, June 26th. The award announcements will take place during the first week of October alongside our summer grants. New for FY 26 summer grants opening. Our FY 26 Arts and Humanities Education Project AHEP, our Arts and Humanities Fellowship Program, AHFP, our Field Trip Experiences, FTE, and Capital Projects, CP. Grant programs will open on Wednesday, May 21st, and will close on Tuesday, June 24th. And I'll just read a couple of the descriptions, but all of our descriptions are on our website. The Arts and Humanities Education Project, AHEP. The Arts and Humanities Education Project, AHEP. Further CAH mission to, by encouraging progress in the arts and humanities in the District of Columbia, by supporting nonprofit arts, humanities, arts education, and service organization who significantly contribute to the District of Columbia as a world-class cultural capital. Grant project types include in-school projects, out-of-school time projects, professional development projects, older adult projects. Our Arts and Humanities Fellowship Program, AHFP, further CAH's mission by encouraging progress in the arts and humanities in the District of Columbia by supporting qualified individual artists and humanities practitioners who significantly contribute to the District of Columbia as a world-class cultural capital. AHFP recognizes the impact of the individual artists and humanities practitioners within the district and support the vitality that those individuals bring to the local community. The grant opportunity encourages progress in the arts and humanities by sustaining, highlighting, and elevating the accomplishments of individual district-based artists in the arts and humanities practitioners. The disciplines include dance, design arts, go-go musicians, virtual artists, humanities, interdisciplinary, media arts, music, theater, and teaching artists. We also have our field trip experiences that will open that same day, as well as capital projects. We are here to help. The grants team is excited to announce the return of virtual office hours for grantees and applicants. Starting Monday, June 9th, our grant managers will be available to answer your specific questions about your grant or application every Monday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Here's how it works. No appointment needed. Simply drop in during our virtual office hours. While the time slots are not required, we may offer them in the future to manage traffic. Stay tuned for updates. Our virtual office hours are a great opportunity to clarify the grant program requirements, discuss application details, get help with postal work management. We are looking forward to connecting with you. So thanks so much. That's the grants report. If you have any questions.
Thank you very much. A good report as always. Questions? Commissioners, questions, comments on the grants?
Just to reiterate, I said in my report and the trail offering is, I know over the last few weeks when I met applicants in person, they always stated that we need some help, and is it okay for us to ask for help? We are here to help. So I don't want that to be seen as a barrier at all. We are here in person. We have virtual office hours on Saturdays. Was it the first Saturday, Jamil? When you have
Yes.
the first Saturday,
Yeah.
our senior grants officer is also available to grantees. So we want to make sure there's no barrier in the way for you to get the assistance you need to get your grants across the finish line.
Great. Let's move on to public art. Carla?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carla Sims. I'm head of the Public Arts Committee. I'm an African-American woman with glasses and a gray shirt and a big smile because I'm always excited about the amazing work that the Public Arts team is doing. We've got, as mentioned earlier, the Behind the Uniform installation will end this week. Art Bank, we've got our school safety programs, as well as some recent and upcoming installations. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our Public Arts Manager, Corinne Miller, to provide the report.
Commissioner Sims. My name is Corinne Miller. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a white woman in an orange blazer with brown hair and glasses, and I'm very pleased to be here this evening. So the Public Art Committee did not meet in May. However, the staff transmitted a report to the Public Art Committee. Those reports are in your packet, and I'm happy to walk you through some highlights in it. So it's been mentioned a couple times, and I think it bears repeating. Our current exhibition is Behind the Uniform. It's an exhibition showcasing the work of 124 veteran artists. I'll pause there because I think that's impressive on its own. The exhibition opened Thursday, April 10th. We had an opening reception that included the Mayor's Office of Veteran Affairs, the National Veterans Arts Museum, which is in Chicago, the Young Marines Cook Corvette, and the Armed Forces Retirement Home. Just this Saturday, many of us were here in this room because there was a Song in My Heart community workshop that was held with the grantees, hands-on art making, interactive workshop that was hosted. Just in a couple days, this Wednesday, May 21st, as Director Myers mentioned, is the closing reception from 6 to 8 p.m. So looking ahead to FY26, the request for applications for a new grant cycle for the art exhibition curatorial grants opened on Monday, May 5th. So that's live now and online. So we appreciate any help in spreading the word about that grant line. Moving on to the Art Bank grant program. So the FY26 cycle for Art Bank launched on Monday, April 15th, with a new request for applications, inviting applications from individual artists as well as nonprofit galleries. That application actually closes later today at 9 p.m. The team has been very busy nonstop getting requests for support. So we've had 3 successful workshops, open office hours. It's been really robust outreach to the artist community on this grant line. just getting folks across the finish line. Next up, an update on the FY 25 Color the Curve school safety program that Commissioner Sims mentioned. So all of that work, the documentation has been routed. Grantees get assigned to teachers at DC public schools, and then they begin working on classroom engagement. So we're expecting that the painting of the murals is expected to take place over the summer. So there's some information below about the artists who will be working with which sites in your packet there. So the grantees are Nia Calhoun, Ashley J. Williams, Teacher Williams, and Tammy Barnes. So it's a really exciting lineup of both artists and site. Next up, we have our Public Art Building Communities Grant Program. So we have 3 grantees this fiscal year. 2 of them, Logan Circle Civic Association and the Southwest Business Improvement District, are continuing to work on their projects, experiencing sort of normal public art delays that happen when you do things in the public realm. We were very happy that Nicholson's project, their grant project Song of Suns, opened last Wednesday, May 14th from 7:30 to 9. So a bunch of us were out there. Director Myers gave remarks that were really wonderful. So that project is 2 gigantic building wraps, a video projection, as well as a series of photographs on bus shelters. The project will be on view for more than 4 months. With some digital engagement as well. What's, I think really unique and important about this is that it's essentially a documentary project that follows a dance crew in DC made up of young Black men and their unique style of dance, beat to beat, which hopefully all of you know. And there was a great performance during the reception as well with some of the dancers. So it's on view 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Nightly, the video, and then the photographs you can see obviously all the time. And then last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about our arts collection management. So this is something, we have a really robust and beautiful collection of portable artworks that get displayed in agency and council member offices. Our team is currently organizing 25 open requests through the Art Bank Loan Program. So recent selections include the Mayor's Office of Latino Affairs, the City Administrator, Councilmember White, Councilmember Duffy. And then I also want to flag and note a recent collaboration that we did with the European Union delegation and DC's Office of the Secretary to install some of the works from the Art Bank collection at the ambassador's residence, which is, there's a couple images there and it turned out really, really nicely. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Another great report. Thank you. Thank you very much. Arts Education Committee has an announcement, not a report.
Yes. Good evening. Okay, good evening. My name is Hector Torres. I'm a Latino male, white hair and white shirt. Actually, the announcement is very simple. We didn't meet this past month. We meet every other month, actually. But it's really very important. One of our signature programs is Poetry Out Loud. Another milestone, really, frankly, our state winner, Nyla Dinkins, actually, who 2 weeks ago or so performed at the Lisner Auditorium and actually won 3 out of all 3 competitions, literally coming out. Really, we felt very much when we went to see her at Poetry Out Loud at Planet World, and that was an extraordinary performance. And frankly, I'm really very proud of this particular program because it brings forth a lot of students from the District of Columbia who actually work in conjunction with teachers on a voluntary basis, and truly is an excellent program. We're looking for her to actually go and perform the next against 2 regions, and we're hoping, we wish her to come back with a grand prize and no pressure. But at the same time, the fact that she did come in 3rd place last year, and this is the same contestant going back. So that for us is a really big win, simply because to deal with the youth of our city. Thank you very much.
What is your name again?
Nyla Dinkins.
Nyla Dinkins.
Yes.
So thank you. So Hector and I were both there, so I witnessed firsthand on several years. the quality of the performance of these kids. It was really amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing. And so the impact that this program has on kids in our city is really amazing. My only hope is that we have standing room only. And it's we want it like packed. So we need commissioners to come to this. We'll give you creative notice, and you bring people with you as well. These kids deserve this attention, deserve that audience. But it still was magnificent.
Chair, I'm so grateful for that comment because I would very much like to see more mention of that. Because it really shows our collaboration with the Department of Education. And it's so vital for us to make that for our students in the district. So thank you.
Thank you. Is that enough? Cecily, Idea Committee.
Thank you. My name is Cecily Abma. I am chair of the Idea Committee. I'm wearing a red long sleeve dress, and I'm happy to be back in person this time after a very long maternity leave. Thank you. So in 2021, the Idea Committee was formed to align with the 44 recommendations from CAH's Equity Task Force led by Chairperson Reggie Van Lee. And following the formation of the Idea Committee, staff were hired to continue the work highlighted in these recommendations. I'm excited to say that all 44 of these recommendations have been complete. Inside of your packet today, you'll see a summary of the recommendations, each of the 44, as well as a 2021 update, a status update in 2021, and then an update and status completion for currently at 2025. I am not going to go through each of these, but this is what
You're not?
your nighttime reading, you do these, but I don't know, we got through these 40 recommendations. Grace, did you want to add to anything?
Yeah, hi, as three. One, a black dress, black headband with red lipstick. Hi, pleasure seeing all of you. Again, we won't go through everything, but did want to bring to light some of the highlights over the years, such as recommendations around multiple languages. When you visit our website, we're able to work in a sense to provide so that individuals who visit our website, they're able to read the website and also have reach documents that encourage those who are non-English speakers to participate in our programs, which is really exciting. So we're continuing that work. And then when it comes to building out data and diversity, we have our updated demographic survey, which we're very proud of, and we launched earlier this month. So it lives on our website. We encourage our entire CAH community to participate. We want to hear from you. We want to know what our community looks like so that we can better support arts, humanities, and the work that you're doing. Even if you're not a grantee or an applicant, but you're a part of our community, you're a panelist, you support the arts, if you're just a part of the district and you're like, I don't want to tell you about myself, please fill out our survey. And then some of my colleagues mentioned this, the more flexible hours were highlighted through our grants teams and our public arts teams, such as the Monday meetings and Wednesday in person and the Saturday office. So we heard your recommendations and we responded. And then also when it comes to panelists, diversifying panelists, we have a favorite panelist survey so that it not only takes into account where you are, but how long you've been there. And it helps us to better understand our panelists and our district in ways that you can contribute to arts and humanities. As you heard earlier, we have so many grants and so many applications, and we want to make sure that we can panel them with the experts, and that would be you. So we really encourage you to fill out our updated panelist survey. It's also included in our newsletter. So we're hoping you're getting our newsletters. If not, please go to our website and sign up so that you can receive them. That's all we.
Let me add one thing, Grace, because before the task force report, the panelists were not paid. And one of the recommendations was, and now the panelists are being paid. So that makes a big difference to some of our constituents.
Yes, thank you for highlighting that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We wanted to make sure that we were honoring their participation and their expertise. And so again, we encourage you, if you're interested, if you think maybe you have something that can contribute to the reviews, we encourage you to please sign up to be a panelist. We have more grants than ever, so we need more panelists. And I'll send it back to our chair,
Great, thank you so much. So although we've completed the 44 recommendations, the work calls us hired, and we've chosen to answer the call. So starting next month, we will continue to expand by embracing projects and initiatives that support communities across all 8 wards of the district. We look forward to sharing more exciting updates during our June commission meeting. But having completed the 44 recommendations, I move that we sunset the idea committee at this time. And second.
Okay.
Great. All in favor to motion to sunset the idea committee?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, motion here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for 4 years of work.
Yeah.
Any other questions from Ceci or Grace? There are no unfinished business items, as I understand it. Well, I should ask, are there any unfinished business items? So we'll proceed to new business. Is there any new business? Hearing none, and being no further business, we'll move on. So this closes the meeting. The next meeting of the commission will be held Monday, June 16th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. The time is now 6:21, and this meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone.